Hey everyone, welcome back, Somatic Warriors, to Somatic Wisdom and the Ethereal Soul, where we talk about embodiment practices, body-mind connection, and challenge our own bias around certain things like, I love yoga, yoga is the best. Well, maybe yoga isn't for everybody, or whatever we're talking about. We're talking about it all. And I'm just really glad that you're here. Welcome back. My name is Valencia Borzoni Scott. I'm a holistic health practitioner of 2 decades, and I'm a published author. You can find my book, Chasing Shade, Living with Developmental Trauma, on Balboa Press website. You can also find it on Amazon.com and Target and Walmart and BarnesandNoble.com and all the places. Used copies available now. It's been out since 2021, and there are also electronic version, and that's far less expensive than the print copy. There is artwork included, completed by myself, and so the color print edition, the price kind of goes up on that. So if that's a bit of a stretch for you, it's pretty pricey. I didn't set that price margin, but then please look into the electronic version. It's under $10. And so tried to keep it accessible where we could. Today I want to talk about something that happened personally recently, just this week, a couple days ago. And it involves the body and staying embodied and coming out of my body and then getting back into my body, and how that all happened in less than a day, which I was super proud of, because if you know anything about me, if you've read my book already, if we've worked together or have had a relationship together, or friendships, if you've known me for any length of time, you know that I have a propensity to fall and sprain my ankle and fall downstairs and slide down hills and, dissociate and all of those things. And that historically has been the path. And so I've been working for most of my life, I'm almost 60 now, to find ways to navigate that, to stay embodied, so I'm not constantly just being flipped like a switch, and then I'm 6 hours down the road and what just happened? I don't have a clue, because I wasn't in my body and I don't remember what happened. So I am currently, in addition to creating content for my YouTube channel and doing some administrative work for some folks in other areas, I do that remotely. I also do some script and screenplay analysis for folks. I like multiple streams of income, and I really like to be busy. I don't like to be overwhelmed, but I do like to have different things to do. It keeps my brain engaged. And I've also just recently relocated, and so I have some space to take care of my body, which has really been great. Cannot tell you. I'll talk more about the massage I had recently, which I've not had one for 4 years. Oh my gosh, so overdue. But what I want to talk about is something that happened just a couple of days ago. So the work, in addition to all the other things I just mentioned, I'm also doing some really sacred work. I get to spend 16 hours a week with a delightful little boy who is just 5 months old, and what a privilege it is to be able to spend time with children. It really is. And there's also an 11-year-old that I get to spend time with, and I mostly am doing driving with her, so I pick her up 2 days a week, and in between that, one morning, early morning, I drop her off. And so we get to chat, and sometimes she's, tired after school. She'll just nap in the front seat. So it's really lovely to just be able to have that quiet time and just see the world through their eyes, and to hear the reflection of life as an 11-year-old. It's very interesting. It's very remarkable. And so Tuesday was able to pick up the 11-year-old, and there was a dentist appointment. And so we got there early, and Dad said, just go ahead and take her on up. And, we did our little thing. We got, the instruction, we parked and we got the instructions where we needed to go. We were up on the 10th floor, and we borrowed the key to the bathroom and went to the bathroom and looked out the big window in the bathroom and, looked down on all the city block and, where things were. And then went back into the lobby of the dentist office, orthodontist, I think, a dentist office, to just wait. And the power went out. All the power went out in the building. And, I've been at home when the power's gone out. I've maybe been at the market when the power's gone out and then flickered back on. But I've never been in a 10-story building, or any building, actually. I don't think I've ever been in a professional building when the power's gone out. Maybe at work, it's like you work in an office and there's a bunch of people that and like the girls sitting behind the desk, oh, the power's out. And for a minute there, like, it flickered, and I thought, oh, it's going to come back on. It's just a little glitch. I know that every street that I have been on has had repairs, or, we're down to one lane, construction. Like, everywhere I go, it seems like that has been kind of a thing. And so I didn't panic. Outwardly, but inwardly I started to get a little just kind of destabilized. Not freaking out, but definitely a little destabilized. And it was only because it was a different experience. I'd never experienced anything like that before, where I was like 10 floors up, and I'm thinking, oh, we're 10 floors up. There's probably no elevators. It's a good thing I've been doing some yoga, and walking with the little one, because geez, and sitting on the floor doing my taxes and stretching, getting my legs working again. And so we waited, and I was messaging Dad to let him know what had happened. And he comes up, huffs the 10 floors to the top. In the meantime, building management had made an announcement to say that there was one elevator working, and that the power was out the street, and that the Department of Water and Power didn't know how long it was going to take before the power was back up and running. And so, but there was running water. And that was pretty much it. Now at this point, it's like 3 o'clock. This all happened in the space of literally like 10 minutes. And so Dad shows up, and, we gather ourselves. He has a chat with the front desk people, and we leave. And we start walking down the stairs. And, it's 10 flights, and I have a propensity to eat shit coming downstairs. I've done it more than once. And I mean, from the time I was a kid. My left leg for many years was very weak and unstable. My right leg and my right hip were very tight, hypertonic, always engaged. And so my left side tends to collapse a little bit more quickly than my right. It usually will give way first. And I know that that's true when I sit. My left side will collapse a little bit more quickly than my right. And I, was a little nervous. So I'm wearing the worst shoes. I'm wearing Uggs, and I'm wearing the worst socks in my shoes. I have freaking little booty slippers on, you know, booty socks that just come off when you walk. They just come off the heel. They're so aggravating. I was planning on driving, pick her up, drive back. That was it. I didn't know I was gonna be coming down 10 flights of stairs. And so, you know, the 11-year-old is like, woohoo, she's off like a shot. She's just, you know, she plays soccer. She's just running down them stairs like no problem. And Dad is, you know, he's trying to be in the middle between her not getting away and not, you know, leaving me behind, which was fine. And I could hear her down there, do you want me to slow down, Dad? And I'm just focused. You know, I'm just literally focused on not falling down these fucking stairs. It was all I could do to stay in my body. And I had my purse on my arm. Thank God it was a heavy purse. I mean, I really think that helped keep me embodied. And I was holding onto the rail and taking my time. I wasn't rushing, and I was being very mindful about my foot placement, because that is always, it's the left foot. If it'll just step out a little too far and miss the step, and my left leg will go right out from underneath me. It's happened so many times. I'm incredibly surprised that I haven't broken anything other than a glass jar. That happened at Naropa, by the way. I fell down the stairs, slipped down the stairs, and dropped my glass jar at the bottom. I made the biggest ruckus in the front office. It was really quite embarrassing. And just really paid attention to my foot placement. You know, that I haven't fallen and broken anything for the number of times I've fallen downstairs from the time I was like 6 or 7. It's just really shocking to me. So I didn't want that to be the day that it happened, because I'm really enjoying all the work that I'm doing right now and getting my body back into a place of feeling good and feeling more expansive and open and not isolated and shut down. And so, you know, I was really, really being mindful. And so, you know, as we're going down the stairs, a couple people were coming up, and we got down to the bottom. And of course, now there's a line of people coming down the stairs, a line of people going out the exit door, trying to figure out where they're going, because as you come down the stairs, the door actually takes you outside of the building. But in order to get to the parking, you have to go back inside the lobby, which is level with the parking. If you go in the lobby, there's like the concierge desk, a little gift shop, and then you go out the back, and there is the parking under the building, and they have a whole valet situation. And so, you know, I get down there and I go to the car and I get the little ticket thing and bring it back, and he handles all the parking stuff. And I get in my car, and now I'm starting to feel a little anxious. Really just want to get the hell out of there. A lot of cars, a lot of people, not my jam. And I'm starting to feel the anxiety. I was fine when it was the 3 of us, and now I'm alone, and I'm starting to feel a little anxious. And so I'm anxious because first he took the ticket and paid, and I have nothing now. And they've pulled out, and there was a car in between us. And I'm like, are these guys gonna remember that we worked kind of together? And so it was fine. They waved me through, and I was like, okay, breathe through that. And I thought, you know, I recognized I was not in any shape to get on the freeway. The drive there and the drive back is very traffic heavy. So it's an hour to get to her, and then an hour back once I pick her up. And that's on a good day with regular traffic. If it's a really good day and there's no traffic, we can make it in 30 minutes because it's really about 30 miles. But I just didn't want to chance the freeway because now it's 3:30 and traffic has probably picked up at this point. I can already, in my mind, I know that if I'm picking her up earlier, it's great, but now we're in later in the day, and traffic is going to be garbage. Garbage. So I just, I hit the main boulevard and I'm just coming down, and they had suggested they were going to grab some dinner, and the bread from that particular sandwich shop has a tendency to really make my stomach upset. So I was like, no, don't worry about it. I'll figure something out. And so wheat in general is definitely not something I should eat, but that particular bread is egregious and I absolutely cannot eat it. I'll take my chances with a pizza crust. So I'm driving along and I'm driving along and I'm driving along, and I'm not getting any better. This isn't getting any better. I'm not feeling more grounded. I'm not feeling more embodied. I'm still feeling rattled. In fact, the level has amplified a little bit at this point. And I was really concerned about that. I was like, wow, that's really fucking weird. It's not like this has triggered something that I've experienced in the past, right? Now, I could say that it triggered something that someone close to me had experienced. That would be accurate. And it was something that this person had talked about with several of us over the course of a couple of days. So it's not like I wasn't aware of what this person went through. And not only was I aware of it, but they talked about it at length, what happened for them. So I had a basic understanding. Cognitively, I had a basic understanding. But viscerally and somatically, I did not. So I stopped to get pizza because there's this really great New York style type pizza place. And they have like ridiculous pizza, like rigatoni pizza, which I did not get this time. I've had it once before when I was doing a lot of massage and body work. It's a great carb replacement, trust me. But I went ahead and got 2 slices of pizza, because you can order a big, massive pizza. It's like $40 or something like that. I'm like, I just need 2 pieces. Like, even that's a lot of money. It would have been cheaper to get the whole pizza, but I don't need to eat an entire pizza. Two slices was enough. It wasn't about money. It was about quantity. So I had a couple of bites of the pizza because I didn't want to eat in her car. I'm in Mama's car. And so I get back on the main boulevard and keep making my way west, and got back and came inside and ate my pizza, and everybody was eating their dinner. They did not get sandwiches, by the way. They got something else, which would have been better, but it's the bread thing still can be challenging for me. So I got back, ate dinner, and we were all just kind of chatting a little bit. They're just talking about the evening, what the plan is, homework, etc. And I'm not quite all there. Like, I can tell I am not completely in my body. I don't feel grounded. Probably a bean, rice, and cheese burrito might have been a little bit more grounding. I'm not entirely sure. And so I go into the office, which is where I spend most of my time, and I immediately know that I need to do art process around this. There's no other way for me to move through this. I could go for a walk, but it was cold and I didn't trust myself. I had already come down 10 flights of stairs. I didn't need to try walking and then trip in the front yard. Like I think we're good with the walking part. If I wasn't embodied and feeling grounded after that, then that usually tells me that I need to do some type of art process. If it's doodling or but something more kinesthetic with my hands. And so, because it was late in the afternoon, now it's like 5 or 6 o'clock, 6 o'clock, I think, by the time I got back, and decided to do art that was simple because I didn't want to make a mess. I didn't want to go in the garage. I didn't want to break out a whole bunch of materials and make a lot of work out of it. And usually when I do simple artwork, it's stick figures. And so what I wound up doing was a storyboard. And, you know, that helped me to kind of process what we had experienced, or what I had experienced. Now, it's not completely accurate. You know, I left off some bits, and I left it a little open at the end. I feel like I could do a second storyboard that would be more reflective of all of my internal responses, because there's only one in here that closely depicts kind of the surprise, the level of surprise that the 11-year-old and I had around the fact that the power had just gone out in the building. And it may be that she wasn't even aware that the power had gone out in the whole building. She may have thought that the power just went off in the suite, in the office where we were sitting. And so, you know, the minute I was done with that, I was better. The minute I was done with this, I was better. I came out, I had tea, I was fine, I was talking. She's like, "Are you okay?" I was like, "Yeah, I had a moment where some weird shit happened." She's like, "Yeah, you seemed a little weird after, you know, during dinner." I was like, "I know." I don't even know. Like, it wasn't even mine. Like, I don't even know what the hell happened, but I did some drawing now and I'm totally fine. But even those little drawings of stick figures, now I'm notorious for stick figures. I had stick figure drawings all through, you know, my art therapy courses at Naropa. You know, I love to draw, and when I have the time and the space and the mental capacity, I can do amazing things. You know, pears and a vase, and, you know, and it takes practice. I have to work back up to that level. But there is something so satisfying about stick figures. Just as there is something so satisfying about oil pastels on my hands, you know, and drawing and then just blending that color with my hands and getting it to go right where I want it to. Getting the color to kind of blend with another or fade a little bit. So it's a little thinner here, but it's much thicker at this other edge, right? There's something really satisfying about carving, layering oil pastels, and then carving them with my thumbnail. I mean, I can use a tool. I have plenty of tools for that, but there's something very satiating, you know, just very soothing about getting my hands in there. And that has always been true from the moment I picked up an oil pastel. I just had no idea how beautiful an art material that they were. But for this particular process, it was pencil and stick figures. And sometimes that's really all it takes. It's really all that's required. It's really all that's necessary to process. So whenever I'm talking about art process or art therapy or art as therapy, my work is all bare bones. My work literally is stick figures and Now that's not the only work that I do, but when I'm talking about art therapy, um, and I'm depicting something such as what happened on Tuesday of this week, that's all I need. That really is literally all I need. I don't have to have big graphic. I would lose the real essence of the experience if I spent time trying to cultivate something that I'm not very good at. And although I can get to that level, it takes practice, and I'm out of practice. I've not had a place to do art. I've not had space to do art regularly. I haven't had room. I haven't had light, appropriate lighting. I just have not been able to engage with my art practices on a regular basis as I would like to, as is beneficial for me. And so I knew that stick figures were going to be it. You know, I knew that that was going to work for me, and it quite often does. It certainly has in the past. I've done a series of drawings around a relationship and a breakup that I had many moons ago, and I cannot tell you how impactful it was for me to see the inner experience of what was happening for me captured in a stick figure. I mean, it was heart-wrenching, and but it was true and it was authentic. As sad as it was to see that, that really was true. And so, you know, dissociation, disembodiment, being embodied, moments where we're destabilized, and it, you know, not quite being able to get back online or back to my baseline. The art made a difference, and I'm very grateful for that. So when I'm talking about embodiment practices and art practices and how they complement each other and how they work together, 21 areas of the brain are activated during a traumatic event, and 19 of those areas are activated during movement and art practices. 19 of the 21. I am all about movement and art practices, if that's what it takes to deconstruct, unpack, and course correct a traumatic event. I am all about that. So I hope that was helpful. I certainly am glad I was able to share that with you. And there may be a follow-up video if I decide to do more around that. But that is where we are at for today. I'm talking too much. I need water. I hope that you are well. I hope that you are taking good care of your body, of your mind, of your spirit, your heart, all the things. And if you have questions or comments, or you'd like to present a medical condition for a case study, we can look at Michael J. Lincoln's book, maybe Louise Hay. If you have anything you'd like to share with us at Somatic Wisdom and the Ethereal Soul, I would love to hear from you. You can reach us at etherealsoul2003@gmail.com. And I look forward to your comments, your questions, your thoughts, your muses, your art. If you want to share that with me, I would love to see it. And of course, nothing gets posted or shared without your permission. So yeah, sacred work, self-care, art therapy, it's all just really, really lovely, really good. So take care, and we will talk to you soon. Bye.